as we finish up the unit, all we have left are solving rational equations. Remember, when we hear the word solve, we know it's going to be with an equation. Remember, what makes an equation is the equal sign. What we're looking for is what works for x. And we've even shown that sometimes it's one number, sometimes it's two numbers. There could be 3 or 4 or 10. There could even be an infinite number of solutions. What we're trying to find is, what number can I plug in for x and it works? Well, let's look. The difference between this problem and some of the ones we've seen earlier are fractions. Wouldn't it be nice if in one single step we could get rid of all the fractions? Well, here we can. Multiply by the LCD. My least common denominator, think about these as if they were fractions. If I had a 6, an 8, and a 12, if I wanted to add those, but I won't be adding them, my common denominator, the lowest number that they all go into, is 24. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to be the least. They all do go into 48. That would work. Any number they go into would work. But let's use the least common denominator right now and distribute it. I'm going to multiply everything. As long as I multiply everything in an equation by the same number, I'm not changing the equation. And that's what I'm going to do here, is multiply everything by 24. Well, if it's a fraction, it needs to be 24 over 1. Notice I'm not getting a common denominator. When I had to say multiply the top and bottom by the same thing, that was when I was trying to unreduce a fraction to get a common denominator. Right now, I'm not trying to get an LCD. Watch what that LCD is going to do for me. It's going to get all my fractions to cancel. When I multiply fractions, top and top, bottom, bottom, 24 times x is 24x. 1 times 6 is 6. Positive times a negative, that sign's going to stay the same. 24 times x, top times top, 24x. Bottom times bottom, 1 times 8 is 8. Multiply everything, including the other side. 24 times 1 is 24 over 1 times 12 is 12. Now notice also what I've done is basically just put the LCD in each numerator. I still have my x over 6. Minus, I still have my x over 8. Equals, I still have my 1 over 12. But what I've done is I've put that LCD in each numerator, because look at what's going to happen. 24x over 6, 4x. Minus 24x over 8, 3x. Equals 24 over 12, 2. What this has done for me has gotten rid of all the fractions. Multiplying by an LCD will do that. And whatever x solves this equation is the same one that solves this equation. Multiplying by an LCD is what will get rid of the fractions. Again, I don't want to multiply top and bottom because I'm not trying to add these. What I'm trying to do is cancel. And the way I can get it to cancel is multiplying the numerator by the LCD. Now, this one's going to be excessively easy. When I have 4x minus 3x, I get a single x equals 2. Don't be deceived. It may be the fact that maybe when we subtract, we get like a 2x or a 3x. You would still need to divide by whatever coefficient, and there may still be constants. This one's set up a little bit easier, but the fact that I got that x equals 2, remember what that means is 2 is the number that if I go and I plug it in, if I were to take 2 over 6 plus minus 2 over 8, if I were to get a common denominator, reduce, add the numerators, I would still get a 1 over 12. It's what would work. I will leave that for you, but for right now, we're showing how to solve. Multiply by the LCD.